Y'all, we need to talk. Have y'all peeped what's been happening with the Japanese yen? And first of all, do not give me that look. We're building wealth with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a global asset, and therefore, you shouldn't be thinking small.
You need to be thinking big, bitch.
So, what's going on, and why should we care? My name's Nat, the sophisticated investor, and I help newbies like you get started investing with Bitcoin and digital assets. I'm glad you asked that question, and we are about to find out. So apparently, the Bank of Japan has only raised rates 2 times in the past 17 years. That's a long time, y'all. The first time they raised or increased rates, and when I say increased rates, I'm talking about the cost of borrowing. So whenever you want to go take out a loan to buy anything, that's what I'm talking about. They increased rates the first time from 0% to like 0.1%. And more recently, they increased to 0.25%. That's significant. If you've been paying attention, you will notice that it's been driving the markets crazy. Why is that? Well, apparently, there are people way smarter than you and I that like to go and borrow the Japanese yen because it's so cheap. The cost of borrowing has been like 0% for so many years. They borrowed in yen and then they go and buy assets with that yen. So just think about that for a second. They're purchasing assets, all kinds of assets, stocks, bond, real estate, whatever, with borrowed money. Now, once the Bank of Japan decides it wants to start increasing rates, that means they now have to pay back those loans that they borrowed. In order to do that, they've started selling the assets that they purchased. So you've been seeing a crazy swing in the stock market. Stocks have been tanking. Bitcoin was tanking. Assets in general have been like selling off. And that's because these investors, people who understand how to make money in markets, are now have to sell their assets and buy back yen to cover their debts. This is why we need to like scale up, guys, because we can be doing this stuff too. When we understand what's happening in the markets, we can take advantage of these types of swings as well. Had we known that just by increasing their rates a little bit will cause such significant like fluctuations in the market, we could have played that in so many different ways. And that's why I like paying attention to what's going on. And I think you need to pay attention to what's going on. And it also gives you that extra added courage to know, or conviction to know, okay, I'm on the right track. What I'm doing with my money or investing in this asset, yeah, it may have gone down in value, but why did it go down in value? Oh, we have some people who were playing with a little bit of risk and now they have to sell their assets, and that's causing a fluctuation or a variance, volatility in my asset. And that's on them, not on me. What I should be doing is making sure that I have money on the side to take advantage of this volatility. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to buy some more. That's how we should be thinking. Only buy more if you have conviction in the asset that you're holding. Y'all just take a look at this chart. This is a chart of the Japanese yen against the US dollar. It's a sharp increase and then a sharp decrease. So the increase represents the US strength against the yen, right? And then the decrease represents the yen's strength against the dollar. It's such stark contrasts, like crazy volatility. So think about it this way. If I'm a Japanese investor and my assets that I have purchased they're valued in US dollars, and the dollar is significantly strong against the yen, that means I can buy way more things in my native currency if my native currency is yen. But once the Bank of Japan decided that it was going to start increasing its rates, at that moment, as an investor, I'm going to sell my assets as fast as possible so that I can lock in those gains, the US dollar gains, so that I can pay off any debts that I have in yen. What that requires me to do is sell all my other assets that are denominated in dollars or wherever I invested. I have to sell those off. And as I sell those off, I have to buy back yen. And once I buy back the yen, that puts upward pressure on the yen. So then it makes it more stronger against the dollar. So I know I'm running long and I know y'all are getting antsy, but I want y'all to really think about this. If we knew how to play markets, the borrowing cost in yen is only like 0.25%. How much is it in the United States to borrow dollars? Think about that. Our interest rate is around 7% now? I haven't checked it recently, but it's pretty high. I mean, they increased rates to like 0.25%. They're not even at 1%. And they got the markets going crazy. So, anyway, I know that's a lot to take in. It probably was a little more than you were looking for at the moment. But anyway, I hope you guys learned something from what I shared today. And if you're interested in getting started in Bitcoin, please click my links and reach out, and I will help you guys get started. And let's start saving in Bitcoin because I really believe that that is how we close the wealth gap here in the United States and actually abroad. Because what did I say? Bitcoin is a global asset. Okay. Y'all better wake up.